Ferrari is about to take one of the biggest gambles in Formula One history. With a massive 99% overhaul of their 2025 car, the team is ready to push the boundaries of innovation. But with such bold changes, the big question is whether this will be the breakthrough Ferrari desperately needs or turn into a major setback. The stakes are higher than ever as Ferrari prepares to challenge the top teams with an upgraded suspension, a new floor design, and a cockpit tailored to the needs of both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. With the 2025 season fast approaching, one thing is clear: Ferrari is all in. But the real question is whether they can make it work this time or fall short once again. Let's dive into the details behind this daring strategy. There's a lot of buzz right now, and the team has already given us a sneak peek at when we'll finally see the 2025 car. But here's the twist. So much info has leaked even before the official reveal in February, right after the 2025 challengers are unveiled. Ferrari's car is getting a massive overhaul, which is honestly pretty surprising, considering they had a fast car by the end of 2024. But here's the thing. Like in 2023, their car had potential, but there's still more to unlock between 2023 and 2024. Vasseur said, "Sometimes you don't realize the risks you're taking until it's too late. The car will be completely new. In my opinion, we'll have less than 1% in common with the 2024 car." Now, let's talk numbers. Vasseur himself said that the car will be 99% different from the previous version. The only thing that's staying is the steering wheel. Sounds like a bold move, right? Well, it turns out the same quote has come up again. Vasseur has confirmed they're changing 99% of the SF24 to what's now being called the Project 677 SF25, or whatever you want to call it. With that huge shift, inside scoops on what to expect are coming through. Sources from teams that track Ferrari's every move during the off-season are saying big changes in the front and rear suspension can be expected. Ferrari's been running a pushrod in the front suspension, which is different from what is seen on McLaren and Red Bull's cars. It's been proven that McLaren and Red Bull have been able to extract more pace, track by track, than Ferrari. Sure, Ferrari had some incredible highs, like in Monaco and Baku, where they nailed short corner speed and showed solid straight-line performance. But let's be real, Ferrari's car was inconsistent across the season compared to McLaren's. Take Brazil, for example. It's clear that having a car that's solid all around through the season is way more valuable than peaking in a couple of races and struggling in others. So, the question is, what risks are Ferrari facing with this 2025 overhaul? How will they balance all this change to avoid the same old highs and lows? Keep watching, because there's a lot on the line with this new era for Ferrari. As we head into the 2025 season, Ferrari is making some massive changes, and it's all starting with the suspension. We've seen time and time again how important it is to nail this setup. If Ferrari can't get this right, it could be a tough road ahead. Teams like Mercedes and McLaren have struggled with similar issues in the past, especially with tire wear and balance problems. But a change like this is absolutely necessary for Ferrari if they want to compete at the top. And that's not all. Ferrari is also introducing a complete overhaul of their floor. Over the course of 2024, they experimented with 3 different floor designs that had a major impact on both the positives and the pitfalls of their season. Early in the year, they introduced what was called the SF24 Evo, which gave them more pace, but made the car much harder to drive. Then, in Spain, they tried to tweak the floor to fix high-speed issues, but that just led to more challenges. Ultimately, the floor they used in Monza brought the car closest to its full potential, showing flashes of brilliance depending on the track. Now, Ferrari is moving away from an experimental floor that was used in both Vegas and Qatar. The results weren't what they expected, so that can't be part of the 2025 car. But don't worry, Ferrari's not stopping there. They're also modifying the chassis, which will push the side pods further back and raise the floor to improve downforce. The result? A more balanced and faster car. Plus, we'll see new air intakes, similar to what Red Bull has on their engine cover, which should further boost airflow and performance, especially in that tricky engine cover and side pod area. With all these changes, the front and rear suspension aren't the only parts getting an update. Ferrari is also shortening the gearbox and tweaking the interior to improve cooling and reduce drag. This will allow them to extract more pace while increasing downforce at the same time. It's crazy how many changes are already being discussed for Ferrari's 2025 car. The risk is high, but if they pull this off, a whole new level of performance could be seen next season. There's a lot to look forward to, but it all comes down to getting these changes right. Will Ferrari finally unlock the potential that's been hiding in plain sight? Only time will tell. Ferrari's 2025 car overhaul is already making headlines, and a lot of the details have already leaked thanks to the team's time in the wind tunnel and the constant buzz of Formula One media. But how does all this affect Lewis Hamilton, who's making the switch to Ferrari next season? With so many changes on the horizon, what can we expect for Lewis, especially as the team pushes for a title in 2025? It's clear that Ferrari is making these changes not just to improve their performance, but to also accommodate both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, their star driver. One of the major changes is in the cockpit design. The SF24, Ferrari's 2024 car, had a very front-oriented cockpit, which made the car either too responsive at the rear or too loose at the front, depending on how you set it up. While Lewis's driving style is similar to Leclerc's, it's not identical. Lewis prefers a more balanced car, while Leclerc likes his to be more responsive at the front. This shift in cockpit layout could help Lewis feel more comfortable and confident behind the wheel. But that's not all. These changes open the door for Ferrari to finally challenge for the top spot, something Lewis has wanted from the start. Mercedes wasn't providing him with a consistent chance to win, even after major upgrades to their car. That lack of competitiveness and the frustration of not winning on merit played a huge role in his decision to switch teams. Now, with a new car in 2025, Ferrari is giving him a real shot at a championship. The excitement is building, and we already have a date for Lewis's first test drive, January 21st or 22nd, when he'll get behind the wheel of either the SF23 or SF22. This will give him a taste of Ferrari's performance compared to Mercedes. However, it's going to take him 2 or 3 races to really get dialed in. He's a world champion, but even the best need time to adapt to a new car. With these big changes in the works, Ferrari's 2025 car could be the fresh start Lewis has been waiting for. With all the huge changes Ferrari is making for their 2025 car, there's a massive risk involved. Big shifts like this have been a double-edged sword throughout the 2024 season. Teams like McLaren saw major upgrades push them to the top, while Ferrari often struggled with theirs. The upside is clear, but so is the downside. These ground effect cars are incredibly sensitive to any changes, so Ferrari's gamble could either propel them to the front or set them back. The team has been in the wind tunnel for months, fine-tuning their design, but there's no guarantee that this shift will pay off. This makes the 2025 season a high-stakes game. Ferrari's going all in. If they're able to unlock that P1 position, expect them to pour everything into making the car faster and more competitive as the season progresses. The pressure's on, and they'll have to strike the right balance between perfecting the current car and planning for the future. The next few months will be crucial for Ferrari's chances, not just for 2025, but for their long-term strategy too. As Ferrari bets everything on their 2025 overhaul, the big question is whether these bold changes will push them to the front and open up new paths to success, or if they will once again find themselves stuck at the back. With so much at stake, the upcoming season promises to be a thrilling ride. So, what do you think? Can Ferrari finally unlock their true potential, or will this gamble be their downfall? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates. Stay tuned for more exciting content coming your way.